Welcome to Kick 'Em in the Head, a podcast that takes an inside look at the world of mixed martial arts, featuring interviews with some of the top fighters from South Africa and around the world, with a focus on the EFC and UFC promotions. I'm your host, Yaw. Join us as we delve deep into the techniques, strategies, and mindsets of these world-class athletes, learning from their experiences and gaining insights into what it takes to succeed in the toughest sport on earth. Shaheed. How are you?
My man, yeah. I'm always good when we talking about MMA, baby. Woo!
MMA, our favorite thing to talk about. And this week we are starting, obviously, with EFC 109, which is coming up next week. Now, there have been some changes. Yeah. There have been some changes at the top. We were supposed to have Dino Bagatine versus Conrad Siabi, but now that's changed.
Ooh. We're a bit sad about that one, man. Hey, it would have been, we always like it. You know what? I always liken MMA to like WWE, but with like actual payoff. You know what I mean? Like you get these two dudes that really don't like each other, and you get this amazing storyline, and then all of a sudden they actually get to fight each other. And unfortunately, I think Conrad is out with an injury, and we hope he gets better soon. But yeah, it's a sad one. But the fight we got instead as the main event is fire.
We didn't see it coming, but the one thing I like is that the new opponent said, listen, I don't really like Dino much either, so I'm definitely ready to throw down. And that person is P.T. Coxon.
P.T. Coxon. Damn.
P.T. Coxon. He stepped up to the plate.
He's like a Cowboy Cerrone of the EFC, man. He steps up when he needs to. He does what he needs to do, and he's an absolute legend, absolute flippin' warrior in the cage. I've still got the same worries as I did with the Conrad fights, but we have heard impressive things about PD in the bare knuckle situation. So it'll be interesting to see what happens against him versus Dino. But I hear there's some King Cobras and Hitmen in the situation, Mahami.
Oh, yes. We have a very tantalizing fight, and I think we talked about it before. One of our favorites, Humphrey, King Cobra Mulenga, will be fighting against Cole Hitman Henning in what's set to be a cracking welterweight bout.
Yeah,
lightweight.
This one, yeah, no, but you know why you make that mistake? Because these guys are in huge. It is insane. I don't know if you see either of these gentlemen in real life, you will be mistaken to think that they are definitely not in the lightweight division. Humphrey is a giant, and he is the young phenom in the division. And Hitman Henning, I think, is looking at a second act. He's looking to come for the title, to point the lightweight division in a real direction. And Humphrey is looking to regenerate and revive and bring in the Zambian element into the EFC. So it's actually an amazing story, and I think we are so lucky to see a young gun like this that is so dominant versus a veteran who could be the next champion. It's champion versus champion, man.
Especially for the lightweight division. I think it's an amazing fight, an absolutely amazing fight. A few other fights, and obviously this is now the main event, the main bout that replaced the bout that was cancelled between Bagatine and Siabi. So very good fight there. Another fight that's been made since our last episode is God knows. My bad. It's the guy we gave in Monaco at the last EFC, and who we've been speaking about endless. Vince Bembe and Demba Sek. the man who got the almost head kick on one of our favorites, Stefan Della Rey.
Yeah, stop moving around there. I can hear the excitement that's going down. I feel it sounds like
oh my
popcorn.
God.
It sounds like popcorn
Sounds
going
the
off
vein
there.
of
You
my
know,
existence.
I think you're excited because of maybe a head kick finish in this fight. That's it's just the excitement popping off there, Mahami. We heard it firsthand that Timber 6 kick is basically like a baseball bat swinging for your flipping head. So, fireworks in this one. Fireworks.
Absolutely. And another fight that's very exciting, and I think I'm hoping is connected to the new EFC deal with Sport Locker. We've got Jalen Sosa coming to fight one of our favorites, Nzwandile Hlongwa.
Hey, cold steel, baby. Cold
Yes, he's back.
steel. Hey, we've seen some very sad finishes for Cold Steel. So his last fight, it did end in a bit of a it had a controversial finish. Whether it, guys, I was right there cage side. So, in my humble opinion, I'm not looking to cause any fights. I don't think that was a low blow. Um, I think Hlongwa's opponent milked it, and but to move on, we have a amazing Brazilian practitioner coming in Sosa,
which means it's going to be a lot of jiu-jitsu, and that's always exciting in the EFC.
It is, and Hlongwa is a stand and banger, but he does have a good wrestling stance. So it's going to be interesting to see. Are we going to see an exciting, an exciting striking battle, or a very technical jiu-jitsu wrestling endeavor out there? So, let's see what's going to happen, man.
If the Souza has anything to prove, he's going to make it a stand and bang, because he wants to show that, look, I'm here and I'm looking to win some sort of title, just like this fight, Chris Matukani versus Zakir Badat. Oh my goodness, these big men are going to cause a lot of violence. Can't wait for this one.
You. Like we spoke about in the last one, Badat is a phenom. If people have seen what he's been doing overseas and in the jiu-jitsu scene alone, you will know that when a big guy can move, it's like Cyril Gaines, man. The way Cyril Gaines moves as a heavy big guy is insane. So Badat has that sort of vibe, but when you come up against the power, like Tyson Fury can tell you, when you come up against the power, man, you gotta be able to handle it, dog. So this is going to be a very interesting fight, a big test for Chris Matukani, and a lovely way to welcome Badat to the EFC.
Welcome him right back. And another fight that's now been made, but not at 109, at EFC 110, is now the welterweight. Now here are the welterweights. The welterweight title fight between Mark Frankenstein Hume and Peace Ngupane.
Yo, this one, I've got gee whiz, man.
Goosebumps, I'm sure.
This is going. I can feel it. This is going to be the final event of the year, right? In December. So I've got a feeling that this is going to be the biggest event of the year. Obviously, because it's the last event, but these two fighters bring vibes. We've got House of Tinkerbell, who we still need to go visit. We've got Team CIT, who we have visited. So if Mark wins before we visit Tinkerbell, we need to visit Tinkerbell so we can even the playing field and make sure they feel our good vibes. You know what I mean? Because I'm a huge fan of Peace. I'm a huge fan of Peace, man, but Mark is insane. I know you're a big Mark Hume fan.
I am a big Mark Hume fan. Met him a few times at the EFC. Nice guy. Always got a smile on his face. Always says hi. So yeah, I'm a Mark fan. But Peace, I absolutely love his dress code, his suits all the time. Always looking dapper. Always looking like he's ready to fight and look dapper. So I love them both. So it's going to be a very, very fun fight. Like you said, House of Tinkerbell versus CIT. That's an amazing bout because you know the titles that CIT has, you know the titles that House of Tinkerbell has. So yeah, championship gym against championship gym.
Exactly, man. And I think it's a huge juxtaposition because if you look at the two landscapes of the gyms, they're very, very, very different gyms. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I mean, I'm everybody probably think Mark's just gonna take it, but I think Peace is gonna give him some hardcore trouble. And yeah, I wish all the best of luck to both of these men in their preparations. I can't wait. Guys, stay safe and don't do anything silly and like get injured because I'll hate you both.
Please, please. To anyone listening, also don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We won't hate you. We'll love you. But yes, I hope none of them gets injured because this is the title fight that we need right now in the welterweight division.
It's like the World Cups. We needed the Booker to win. We need Drickus to fight for the title, and we need Peace and Mark to fight each other in the EFC.
Sean mustn't run from Drickus. That's what it is right now. Basically, at this moment, if you look at the middleweight division, Sean mustn't run from Drickus.
We're gonna talk about that later in the show.
Okay, yes, let's get there. Okay. Let's first deal with the one and only Derek, the Black Beast, Hot Balls Lewis against Jailton Almeida.
This is going to be a fight. It did change suddenly. We did speak about that. It was supposed to be Curtis Blades versus Almeida, but Derek Lewis is always ready to stand and bang. So, yeah, can you give the people a little bit of insight into this fight?
So I think what we're really looking forward to is seeing whether Jailton Almeida's BJJ can withstand Derek Lewis's I'm going to stand up at any point I want. So that's really what this fight's going to be about is can Jailton take down and keep down Derek and potentially submit Derek? Because we know Derek, he can defend himself on the ground, but he prefers to stand and bang. So if Derek keeps this on the feet, I mean, you saw his last fight, he was in and out within, 45 seconds? He's ready.
Yeah,
so, and the knockout king is ready to knock out. Number 15 is going to mean that he's going to be 2 away from the closest. So he's ready. Jailton, I think Jailton's also ready. But, still Derek Lewis.
Hey, man, I'm feeling that vibe. I am a flippant striker at heart. I love that. I love that stuff. So Derek Lewis proves that jiu-jitsu and wrestling doesn't exist. He just stands up. So it'll be an interesting one. If Almeida can, we've seen crazy things happen, and we know these Brazilian fighters, man. Next thing, he just comes out with a capoeira kick and then finishes the fight. We don't know, but Derek Lewis is the knockout king. So this is going to be exciting, man. This is going to be very, very exciting.
I definitely think so. I think, and we talked about this, the other 2 fights on the card that I find a little bit tantalizing are Caio Borralho, who corners for, if I'm not mistaken, Alex Pereira, and Abus Magomedov, whose last fight was his last to Sean Strickland? No. He lost to Poatan. No, he lost to Sean Strickland. He lost to Sean Strickland, yes.
Okay.
Before Strickland fought Izzy, he fought Abus Magomedov.
Oh, yes. So those are going to be some very interesting fights to the landscapes of the divisions, man. Yeah.
But I think what's equally as interesting is if we look to the next PPV, obviously, we have Prohaska versus Pereira. The fight we didn't
Yo,
know was going to be the title fight. But
yo,
suddenly, here we go. It's the main
yes.
event. After, unfortunately, John Jones got injured, so his fight against Stipe Miocic was cancelled.
Yes, and now we've got another title fight on the card as well. Tom Aspinall versus Sergey. I always
Pavlovich.
can't say surnames. Pavlovich. I can't
Wait,
see it
it's an
on the board.
interim title fight.
It is an interim title fight because John will be out for about 8 to 10 months. I think. But this is going to be insane. Yuri Prohaska is basically training to fight to the death. He's walking in ice and he's blindfolding himself. He's training to talk to bears. He's training his eyes. He's becoming one with the ninja. He is floating with the samurai, and that, I don't know. That could be the social media sensation. That is Alex Pereira, the boogeyman of the UFC.
So honestly, the amount of media that's been coming out, and I mean social media entertainment from Alex Pereira is literally, if you haven't seen it, you should see who his son is. His son is a stone face because they call him stone face. I absolutely love everything coming out from Alex, and I think, especially for someone who doesn't speak English, like we've talked about, having a specific identity. You don't have to be calling out people, trash talking them for you to have some form of presence that makes the fans want to see you fight, makes the fans want to see you win. And that's exactly what Pereira is doing right now. And I absolutely love it. I'm not seeing much from Prohaska. We've seen what you've mentioned, but
What?
Poatan is killing it right now.
Yeah, that's so true.
Like right now.
But Yuri Prohaska is the type of guy that goes into a dark room, switches off everything, and meditates about how he will dismember his enemies. So, unfortunately, his social media team needs to become stronger so that we can see what's going on with him. You know what I mean?
I think he should hire us.
Oh, gee whiz. That, like, comment, subscribe, guys. We could be Yuri Prohaska's media team in the next couple of years. Boom, boom, boom. Come on, shot.
I can see which side we're on. The other fights on the card that are very exciting. As we said, Sergey Pavlovich versus Tom Aspinall for the interim heavyweight championship with John Jones injured. That one is going to be a slugfest. Tom's going to put it out there, and we know Sergey is the hardest puncher since Ngannou. So
Yes.
I'm just looking forward to number 2 fighting number 4, and fists flying. I'm even getting tongue-tied.
Exactly, because you just want to see Sergey and Tom hit each other in the face, because that is MMA, and maybe somebody just gets kicked in the head, baby. You know what
Thank
I'm
you,
saying?
Islam, again, by the way, Islam.
Yo,
Islam.
Makachev. Hey,
Thank you.
salam, my brother. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, definitely shukran to Islam. That was thank you. So that's a great one. And then obviously Jessica Andrade versus our favorite Mackenzie Dern.
Hey, guys. You know how I feel about Mackenzie. I love Mackenzie and her jiu-jitsu skills, man. All the way, all day. but I am a striker. So Jessica, we could see some before the fight even starts, we could see it end. You know what I mean? We've seen some insane finishes over this past year, and it has been a wonderful time to be an MMA fan. I just have to say, you know how Pereira, you said Pereira doesn't call anybody out? He's always ragging Izzy. I mean, Izzy said he's not going to fight in the UFC until 2027, right? And then Alex is like, maybe I'll go try boxing in 2027. Your boy he goes after Izzy all the time. And I just need to give a quick stat. I think he's had how many title? I think
Out of 7 fights in the
five.
UFC, he's
Yes,
fought and beat four former champions. Sorry.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly, and that is insane. So this fight is not to be missed. This will be a complete barn burner between a samurai guy that ties himself up to trees and meditates to the social media sensation that is Stonehenge.
One fight that you might not know about if you're a casual, and you obviously know about, but you definitely have to look out for because it's going to definitely be a barn burner. Lots of fists flying. Is Matt the Steamroller Frivola versus Benoit Saint Denis? That one is one of Dana White's fights that he's identified to be. It's going to be an amazing fight. I'm really looking forward to that one in the lightweight division.
A steamroller is a prospect that you have to keep your eyes on, man. Him against Donga was an insane fight. I'm a huge steamroller fan. Um, I roll and I roll. So I mean, how can you not love the steamroller? You know what I'm
Steamroller.
saying? And he comes from an amazing gym. I mean, I think there is a South African fighter from that gym as well, the Longo gym, Turbo. He is also an amazing fighter. So there's insane pedigree there. There's Mirab, there's AJ Sterling, the former champion. So he is training with pedigree. And I think it, like you said, an absolute barn burner, slug fest, and maybe even some head kicks, guys. You can't miss it. You can't miss these fights ever. You're gonna miss something amazing if you miss it out.
Pedigree,
Like if
pedigree,
you miss out on
pedigree.
a show,
Pedigree. Miss out.
right?
Amazing. With the exception of head kicks, was the new baddest man on the planet,
You,
Francis Ngannou
you,
versus Tyson Fury
um,
was this weekend. Please tell me about it.
yo, that's
As a
why we.
boxing license coach, tell me about it.
Well, um, guys, we had a meeting on Tuesday. We have our Tuesday meetings, and our producer actually said to us, "Hey, man, do you know I was editing and you called it?" And I was like, "Called what? What are you talking about?" The Ngannou Fury fight. Apparently, I called it, guys, um, and that's how it happened. Ngannou lost by split decision, but he got the most amazing performance as an MMA crossover person. That was probably one of the best MMA crossover performances into boxing ever done, ever. Conor McGregor can go home and to stay in MMA and maybe even retire because Francis Ngannou is it. Wow.
Absolutely wow. He shocked the world by knocking down the current lineal heavyweight champion of the world, Tyson Fury, the Gypsy King himself. Unbelievable. And then it went to decision. It went to the judges, and everyone who saw it said Ngannou won on points. He got the knockdown. And this,
Yep.
as much as it was a robbery, unfortunately, that's the same thing as we say in MMA. If you let it go to the judges, that's on you. So unfortunately, it went to the judges. There's no such thing as a robbery. But if you look at what Ngannou did as a first-time amateur boxer against the lineal heavyweight champion of the world, it's phenomenal. As you said, it was not an MMA boxing crossover mockery as most of the other bouts have been. This one
Yes.
was a boxing bout. And over and above that, apparently the WBC has now ranked Ngannou in their top 10, which means that if he fights anyone else in the top 10, A, that's the big money that he's been looking for. He did not fumble
Exactly.
the bag. And B, it means that he could actually be fighting for a world title in his next fight, in his second fight.
Exactly. And C shows how in good strikers are in MMA, and people just need to shut their mouths about, oh, MMA striking is not actually that high level. It's not real fighting. I think Ngannou just shut up all the haters of MMA and just showed them how skillful you need to be to do what these guys do. And it was amazing. And another guy that's looking at a little bit of a crossover is Deontay Wilder.
But
MMA
before we
guys, you
talk
know.
about
Oh,
Mr. Deontay Wilder,
oh, my
I think
bad, my
we're
bad.
missing something.
Are we missing something?
I think we're missing something.
Oh.
It's time for.
Is it
What time is it?
is it
Rashid?
time for
It's time for Fighter of the Fighter of the Week.
Fighter of the week, Fighter of the week.
It's time!
So I think I went last time. Who is your Fighter of the Week? Shahid Full Metal Roberts.
My fighter of the week is none other than the baddest man on the planet. We've already
gets to
got
stay
him
there.
up. He actually has to, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, when he walked out with Israel and Kamaru Usman to the ring, it represents a lot. Kamaru Usman has had a bad skid of losses recently. Israel has had some bad losses, and I think that seeing Ngannou win and being there for their homie, even in their defeat, and seeing him win, it was just really beautiful. And for that reason, and for being able to pull off what he did, Francis Ngannou is my fighter of the week.
Love it. Mine is quite different. Mine brings it back home, right back home to PT Thunder Coxon. Now, the reason dear Mr. PT Coxon is my fight of the week is because he stepped into that feud, that bloodthirst fight between Dino and Conrad. And he said, listen, Dino, you want blood? Let me give you blood. Let me come and stand. I know I'm supposed to be fighting bare knuckle, but you want a brawl? I will give you a brawl. So we've been talking about the big balls, our 10 hours, Black Panther, Big Balls, Balelo, Big Balls, Volkanovski, and all those guys who step in at short notice. So for me this week, definitely Petey Coxon, the short notice, ready to give blood, take blood, and just be there for the EFC, for the bout. Definitely Petey Coxon.
Yo, my man, hey, I love your fight of the week choices, man. This is another awesome one, and it just goes to show what an awesome promotion the EFC is. How much it allows their fighters to do, how much it allows their fighters to go out, be free agents, be in bare knuckle promotions. And guys, it's huge. Bare knuckle is huge for our fighters. They can earn big money. They can also fight in the EFC. It's a really good time for our fighters, and it's an amazing time to be a fan. Wow, what a good choice of fighter. Wow, Petey Coxon.
Coxon. And speaking of the choices of fans and amazing things happening, we have a local promotion versus our local amateur promotion, soon to be professional, versus is having its fight night on the 18th of November, versus 7. And that's an absolute banger. Like, we're really looking forward to that one.
Guys, this is going to be the first time we are going to versus. It is going to be a first in-depth look. If you didn't know what versus was, you are going to know. Like, comment, subscribe. Like I said, tell your grandma about it because it's awesome. Versus is an amateur promotion, maybe turning into a pro promotion. It's I think Cameron Sneyman, it's his partnership here, and
Yes, he does
this is
all the
why I
partnership.
love MMA. This is why I love MMA, man, because this young guy has become a part of this amateur promotion. He doesn't need to be. He doesn't need to be there. He's in the UFC. He can go off and do adverts and do other awesome sponsorships, but he's here standing at an amateur promotion, supporting the next generation of MMA African superstars, and it's epic to see, and I can't wait to be there.
It's going to be absolutely amazing. And I think when we are there, one thing the fans will definitely get is a feel for what amateur MMA is. Speaking of amateur MMA, you tried to bring it up a bit earlier. Wilder, Deontay, I
Hey,
think it's the stroke of death. Wilder is looking to cross over into
um,
MMA.
hey, the
Touch
bronze
of death,
bomber,
touch of death. Yes.
the bronze bomber and Ngannou going at it, the touch of death fight, man. I'm a huge boxing fan, so Deontay Wilder actually has a dead, um, like Alex Pereira has that deadly hook. Deontay Wilder has the same sort of power. I've seen people fall to this man left, right, and center, and to to think about him transitioning into MMA would actually be amazing, because being a heavyweight, being able to strike like that, and having guys, if you look at the jujitsu on a lot of the even champions, some champions only got like a purple belt. Um, there's only a couple. There's some that just got their brown belt the other day, man. You know what I mean? Hamza just got his brown belt in jiu-jitsu the other day. So with a good enough techniques and striking, you can, and especially in the big guy leagues, man, you can really get away with being a dirty good striker. And Deontay Wilder is definitely it. So it'd be interesting to see what happens.
Very interesting to see what happens. I, I'm not sure how he's going to take being pushed against the cage, the fence, the cage, having a cage on his face, having a head actually do that legally. The rules are completely different, but it's going to be very interesting. Like you said, touch of
Um,
death fight. They'll just touch each other, and the fight will be over. All of that will be moot.
can you imagine? Like at the same time, like down.
There's a video of
Yeah,
that
that'd be
somewhere.
so funny. There is, but to see it against Ngannou and thing would be that'd be insane. Oh wow,
What
another
in
big
this
man
fight? I don't know if that
situation.
would happen. Mhm.
Yo, gee whiz, this would be a slugfest. These two would punch each other until both their faces were broken, and they'd still go on. It would be this would be a dirty fight. But the big headlines here is that I want to say Hamza Chimaev hand was injured in his last fight, so that means he will be out for a while. And that can only mean the number one contender, DDP, Dricus Duplessis, could be fighting for the title very, very, very soon. So, hey, man, I don't know. It's exciting times. We saw the man, he was looking big. And yeah, it's an amazing situation.
I think it's gonna be one of those where at this point, the one who's really gonna be able to decide exactly what happens is the champion, the one and only Sean Tarzan Strickland. Because like you said, Dricus, he's not number one, he's the number two contender, but he's the only one who's really available now to fight Sean. If Sean doesn't take the fight against Dricus, who else is there? Because Dricus is the only
Exactly.
person available healthy. His foot, presumably, his foot is better now. Because remember, the issue previously with Izzy was that his foot was injured.
Hey, man, he was. Yo, can we say that?
So
Can we say he was looking fresh? He was looking
I think he
fresh.
looks ready.
I
I
don't
think he
know.
looks ready.
I,
So
I we were at the gym, man. I don't know if he was looking good. We got the photo evidence. His foot was fitting in the shoes, and he
mhm.
was looking good.
So
You
we
know what
hope
I
our
mean,
boy is
man?
ready, right?
Yeah, and I think to support Trickers is just the South African thing to do,
Hmm.
because we backed our boys, and they brought us home gold. They brought the Weber Wenzel Cup back to South Africa. Go Booker, 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 Booker. Awesome. Now it is time to support Drickers. Not because you love MMA, not because you're South African, but because when the Booker were playing and winning, there was no load shedding, guys. So if Drickers brings home the UFC title, we might actually have like 2, 3 weeks of no load shedding. So get behind Drickers, because we don't want load shedding, and it's the South African thing to do. Okay. I'm done. Sorry. I saw a massive correlation, and I think if Drickers can do it, we can have like a week of no load shedding. It'd be awesome.
I think all the people of South Africa will thank you for your suggestion and will certainly love Drickus when he wins the title here at home, mind you. The box won it overseas, and I'm sure that it's going to come here and we're going to have it at Loftus. And I'm sure somewhere on that card would probably be this bout:
Yo,
King
yo,
Shaka versus
kid,
the Daywalker.
the day walker, and not we're not talking about Blade. We're not talking about no Wesley Snipes. We're talking about Gift Walker. Yeah.
Versus
We have
Nkazimulu Zulu for the bantamweight title. Very, very spicy. It's not happening yet, but there were some
a
words
man.
that have been spoken
Wow.
by the king.
That was a beautiful interview we did with Inkazimulo. Guys, like, comment, subscribe. You need to jump on and watch that interview. It is spicy. But to give you a little synopsis, Nkazimulo basically opened up and said he could have 100 titles. He'd put them on the line just to take down Gift Walker. Yeah, how do you feel about that, my man?
So one thing that he said that I liked was the fact that he's trying to fight at his optimum level. He's trying to get to the weight class where he knows he's an absolute destroyer, where no one will have unnecessary weight on him, so that he can really prove the champion that he is. That's in Kazumulo Zulu. So for me, I loved the
King Shaka.
ethos of why he's really going down. But
Mm.
for him, in his opinion, Gift wants to come up and be a double champ, but not willing to put up his belt. So he's saying, let's put up the belts and let's fight. And I love that because at the end of the day, I think the EFC could do with a double champ. Gift Walker's a little bit inexperienced. He's only got what, 5 bouts now? But I think he
Yeah.
would be an amazing double champ. 6 fights in the EFC, amazing fighter, knows what he's doing. House of Tinkerbell. So I think it's going to be a good fight if they make this fight. Inkazumulu Zulu's called him out. Gift wants to fight Tumelo Manyamala. Let's see what happens.
Hey man, I find it a bit weird because I don't know how we put up 2 titles, because it's different weight classes. So maybe Gift didn't think that went through so much. You know what I mean? Because it, he's gonna have to come up. You know what I mean? Because in terms of sanctioning, in terms of MMA South Africa, unfortunately, we can't just put titles on the line. There has to be weight classes. There has to be certain things. Um, they will have to fight at flyweight and then fight at bantam. I don't know why Gift. Yeah, I really don't know why Gift said that, because it makes no sense. But it makes for a very interesting storyline, because Kazimula said he'd put titles on the line, thousands if he had them, just to fight Gift. I love that. That was my favorite line of the whole entire interview. I could
I
say it
think
over
so.
and over again.
And I
Oh
just love that
yeah.
there's all this brewing because it's lovely to see the passion these guys have for what they do, for fighting, and seeing
Yes, man.
how much they give towards fighting. I mean, we saw these guys middle of the day. They were there. They were training. They were working hard. They were making sure that they are at their optimal best when they get to any fight. And I think that brings us to our general topic, which this week we're talking about having potential end year awards for the fighters, coaches, gyms, promotions, whatever it is in South Africa, because we don't quite have that. They're not quite well represented within the award
Yes.
space. Even if you look at your general sports awards, you might have the MMA SA awards, but nothing glamorous, nothing that really speaks towards success
Exactly.
in various categories. Only only in martial arts. That's the thing. It's only in martial arts, but there's various
Yeah.
categories that you can award people for. I think that's my point.
Yes, man. And I think the big thing is that these guys need to be celebrated. They even if it's just two random dudes that are talking on the internet about how much they love them and their humble opinions of what we think. And guys, please comment if you guys are enjoying, if you guys have got anything you want to say, if you think what we're saying just utter nonsense, comment, and then I'll tell you why it's not nonsense. I'm joking. Comment and yeah, comment, guys, please. But I think it's very important that we just talk about these guys as much as possible because what they're doing is amazing. And just to give guys recognition, man, we see what you're doing. We see you grinding out there. We see you going for the head kicks. Yeah, have you noticed at the EFC, man, that now that we love to shout, kick him in the head during the fights, guys. But I've really noticed that fighters are actually going for it. What do you think, man? I'm really seeing it. Do you think I'm being delusional?
I think it's exactly that, and it's specifically because kick them in the head reminds them that it's a fight. Like, oh wait, yeah, let me go for it. Whereas head kick is very technical. You're still technically minded. Okay, what's this? What's that? But kick him in the head gives you that. Oh shoot, it's the juice for okay, let's fight. So I think that might hopefully be the psychology. So we definitely need to keep screaming that.
Hey, we do, man, because I'm noticing. I hear you shouting from the other corner of the UFC, and then I just see this guy go for a head kick, and it, guys, it's no joke to be hit in the head with a shin straight to your skull. Um, we love the violence. We hate it when people get hurt. But this is the nature of the game, and we've got to appreciate these guys. We've got to um, shout out about them, man. But if anything, what would be your head kick of the year if so far? If unless we get like maybe spectacular head kicks in the next upcoming fights, what would be your head kick of the year?
It's tough because between Leon and Islam. Why?
Islam.
Because yes, because of how quick he did it, and
Yeah.
his and Leon's are almost sort of similar. Where Leon's was okay, I've won the title using the head kick, whereas Islam's was I showed you I am him with a head kick. And for me, the I am him with a head kick just just trumps I won at the death with my head kick. So for me, Islam Makhachev against Alexander Volkanovski has to be the head kick of the year. Justin Gaethje versus Dustin, awesome. BMF, cool.
For me, because of the emotional value of that head kick, yeah, I felt so bad for Dustin Poirier. Like I feel so bad for it, but I felt so good for Justin Gaethje. For me, Islam's head kick, him as a wrestler, right, doing something like that is insane. It's the same way that Justin Gaethje, Islam is a wrestler and he wrestles, right? And then winning as a striker is just amazing. But Justin Gaethje is a wrestler that never ever ever wrestles. it gets me every time I watch his fights. He never goes for a takedown. He always just stands up and he bangs, man. And for me, the highlight gave us the highlight. You know what I'm saying? It was huge for me. Like, he solidified why he is called the highlight. And he gave it to us. He gave us a highlight finish, and it was insane. But we can't forget the logo, right? I mean, this was this year, right? It
No,
was this year.
this is like last year, either 22 or
Was it
20.
last?
It was last year.
Ah,
It
damn
was
it,
last
man.
year.
Because
It was last year.
the logo was probably the hottest one.
It
Unfortunately
would
for
have been the
Tony, though.
one.
Hey, man. Because like you can't not say because it's the logo as well.
No, you can't. That was against what's his name, Michael Chandler.
Yeah, hey, and Michael Chandler is making waves as well, right? Especially because of this whole Conor McGregor situation coming in, being tested, everything that's going down. Um, and speaking of Conor, who would you say in the EFC would be the breakout star of the year?
Of the year,
Yeah.
at this point, it would have to be Terence Balelo.
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking of. That's exactly the person I was thinking of.
His first fight
Um,
was, I think, December last year, or sometime
yeah,
November, sometime late last year. And then with his bouts this year, he's just won and grown and has become an interim champion like that. I think Gift has been around a little bit longer. So for me, I think definitely Terence Balelo.
I think his loss made him a stronger, better fighter. It's not often that you see in MMA guys that lose so quickly and then turn around and do what he did so quickly. We spoke about it with Stefan Delaray in our other interview, where he speaks about the mentality, the mindset, the psychology of a fighter. And the biggest thing that you nodding off there, my man.
No, it's because I'm looking down at you. I'm very much awake.
Okay. I thought I was putting you to sleep with my waffling on you, but
Not at all.
I think Terrence's mindset is why he has become a breakout star. He didn't let the loss deflate him. He just let it push him to the next level, where now he is a champion. And I've been sending him some messages, been chatting, and maybe there could be an international situation. Well, we'll have to see what happens there, man. Big things to that guy. Big, huge things.
Mm. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to what he has to offer in the next coming years. Obviously, the interim champ. Um, and with regards to the mentality, I think he's quite strong mentally. If I think about his post-fight interview when he lost the title, sorry, when he lost the vacant title match against Gift, literally right after the match, he was calling out King Shaka. So I think mentally, he's a very, very strong fighter. He doesn't take losses. Well, it was his first loss, but based on that, he takes it in his stride. He takes it as learning. He goes, he betters himself wherever it is that he did not succeed, and then he makes sure that he comes back stronger. So definitely, yeah, he's also got seemingly a strong team behind him, which is also very important.
Yeah, that brotherhood is amazing, and to see a young man like that, true role model, man, true role model.
Yeah. But I think probably when we have the awards ceremony, how do you think we're going to end that ceremony, Rashid?
Hey, man, somebody's gonna have to bring out dummies because I think we're gonna have to kick him in the
Kick him in the head!
head.
Love
Yeah,
it.
love
Sweet
it,
trophy.
man. Hey, always, man. We always talk and we always chatting MMA. Check you later,
People
guys.
don't forget to like, comment, subscribe at Headkick Pod on all platforms, as always.
Ooh, you might see something new all the time. Wee.
Kick him in the head!